Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. We had a few updates that we wanted to share today. First of all, I want to note that our number of confirmed COVID-19 positive cases in the city of Hartford currently stands at 120, according to the data that we're getting. It's worth noting that that is about a 50% increase from this update 2 days ago. And so what we are seeing now is what we have expected to see for a while, which is that continued rapid acceleration and escalation in the number of infections, both as community spread continues and as the amount of testing increases. So I want to start by just stressing how important it is for everybody to get used to these changes and restrictions for the long haul. We're going to be in this for a while. We're going to see increases for a while. There is sustained community spread, and we need everybody to do their part. As we said a couple of weeks ago when we put in place modified city services, we would continue to evaluate and make changes as necessary. And so today I wanted to announce that we are making some additional changes to city services, particularly in-person city services, and we'll be scaling those back even further. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, we dramatically scaled down most interactions between city employees and the public. There were a few exceptions, however. Today, we are announcing that with the exception of 2 days of appointment-only opportunities to visit the city clerk, there will be no longer any public interactions, walk-in business here in City Hall. That means we will be closing the tax office, we will be closing the Registrar of Voters office, the clerk's office will be closed except for those 2 days when scheduled appointments can take place. And our building inspectors will now be performing emergency inspections only when it comes to occupied residential properties. They will continue to perform inspections on large construction projects, and they will continue to perform in-person inspections where there are emergencies. They will do their best to work with anybody who's got a project going in their home or in an occupied residential building to do the inspections remotely, to do it via Skype or via FaceTime or phone or pictures. They'll do their best to creatively and flexibly work with our residents to perform those inspections. But they will be scaling back on-site inspections at residential occupied properties. Now, for those offices here in City Hall that people are used to walking in and dealing face-to-face with an employee, there will be a number of options. First of all, there are online options. So there is capability to pay your taxes online. We'll have the capability to submit requests to the clerk's office online. The Registrar of Voters will be available to talk by phone or interact online. All of those offices will also have drop boxes where you can drop payments for your taxes, where you can drop requests to the clerk's office. We will have staff cycling through, emptying those lock boxes, following up by phone, by email, or mailing out responses. So we're going to do our best to maintain services in this scaled back model. This will remain in place through the end of April. And again, all of this remains subject to change and reassessment, but we think it's appropriate at this point to take these more restrictive measures to minimize interaction between city employees and the public and minimize the reasons that residents need to come out of their house or think they ought to come out of their house to come down here to City Hall. The second thing that I wanted to talk about today is that we are stepping up our enforcement efforts to require social distancing. That's going to take two main forms. First of all, our health inspectors, who are typically performing inspections at restaurants, will be paying in-person visits to bodegas, to grocery stores, to big box stores, to retailers that are still open. They will be assessing compliance with the social distancing requirements, and they will be working in partnership with the police department to enforce those requirements. I invite anybody who operates one of those stores and has questions to reach out to us. You can reach out to the PD, you can reach out to the health department, you can reach out through 311. But our inspectors are going to be actively paying visits, making phone calls. I've been doing some of that personally with some of our bigger retailers and stressing not only how important it is to comply with the social distancing directives that have come down at the state level, but also emphasizing that we will be enforcing those requirements. I want to say that Governor Lamont has made his decisions and put in place these requirements because he is listening to the experts, he is looking at the data, he is being guided what is in the best public interests of our state and our community. And I'm grateful to him for doing that. And we are going to do our part locally to make sure that the directives that Governor Lamont is putting in place are enforced, are honored, are respected, and there will be consequences for those who choose to ignore those. Again, we all have a responsibility here. We may still be in the early stages of this pandemic. We may still be in the early stages of the spread right here in the city of Hartford and here in the state of Connecticut. We're going to do everything we can on the government side, but we ask everybody to do everything you can individually and your families. If you do that, you can help keep yourselves healthy, you can help keep your family healthy, you can help keep others and our community as a whole healthy. The last thing I just want to say is please remember to check in on those you love. Please remember to reach out to your parents or grandparents, reach out to your neighbors, reach out to your elderly friends, reach out especially to those who may not have family or loved ones who are checking in on them. Although we are physically distant from one another right now, it's all the more important to stay in contact with each other. We talked a couple of days ago, we had a special Facebook Live session with the leader of Interval House, which focuses on domestic violence, and one of the key messages there is how critical it is to stay in touch with anybody you're worried about. And so I want to stress that here again too. Anybody who you think may be vulnerable to abuse and whose vulnerability may be even more severe in this time of isolation, please reach out. We've all got to stay connected. Part of keeping our community healthy is not just staying COVID-free, but it's also staying emotionally healthy, emotionally connected, and we all have a part to play there too. With that, I'm happy to take any questions, but thank you for coming out today. Any questions? All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay healthy and safe. Have a good weekend to the extent that you can distinguish weekends from other days these days. I actually now would like to ask Liani to come up and just repeat some of those key messages in Spanish. Thanks so much, everybody.
Hay tres puntos claves que le queremos dar a nuestra audiencia que habla español. En este momento en la ciudad de Hartford tenemos 120 casos del coronavirus. Es un aumento del 50% de hace 2 días. Seguimos haciendo unos esfuerzos para trabajar con nuestra comunidad para aplanar la curva, como se ha dicho anteriormente. También queremos anunciar que aquí en la alcaldía se va a disminuir los servicios que se están proveyendo otra vez. Empezando el lunes hasta el final de abril, no vamos a tener servicios en persona aquí en la alcaldía. Solamente vamos a tener servicios por cita 2 días en semana en la oficina del Town Clerk. Si tienes alguna otra cosa que tiene que ver con inspecciones de edificios, nuestros inspectores de edificios van a estar trabajando por siguiendo haciendo las inspecciones para proyectos de construcción grande, pero cosas adentro de una casa van a ser solamente por emergencia o van a hacerlo por internet o usando el FaceTime, algo así. Así que, por favor, tienen que llamar para hacer esa cita para poder hacer este servicio. También vamos a hacer un esfuerzo entre los inspectores de salud de la ciudad con nuestra policía para hacer más esfuerzo para el establecimiento de distancia, por favor, distancia social. Vamos a trabajar juntos, a ir a las bodegas, a ir a diferentes almacenes de comida, para estar seguro que esos negocios están haciendo el esfuerzo para mantener la distancia social entre las personas, sus clientes que están ahí. Y lo último decir es que, por favor, somos una comunidad. Debemos trabajar juntos y le queremos dar las gracias al gobernador por su liderazgo y por el trabajo que está haciendo. Nosotros también estamos tratando de hacer nuestro trabajo aquí al nivel local. Entonces le estamos pidiendo que ustedes hagan también su esfuerzo para ayudar a nuestra comunidad. Por favor, quédense en casa. Si tienen algún vecino que necesita ayuda, hágale esa llamada. Si tienen otras personas que saben que necesitan ayuda o están aislados, por favor, llámalos. Somos una comunidad y nos vamos a proteger todos trabajando juntos. Gracias.